So, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Oh man, it's crazy how our computers run our life, right? One little thing like that, and it almost stops the entire thing. So this is the SafePal app, right? So you guys have seen that Binance has just dropped this. It's pretty popular, it seems like, right? Um, and the cool thing about it is it has everything built into it, and it's built to run the Binance Smart Chain. So you guys see right here at the top, BEP20. So there's BEP2, there's BEP20, there's ERC20. ERC20 obviously is the Ethereum network. BEP2 is I believe the Binance network or the Binance chain. And then BEP20 is the Binance Smart Chain.
What's the difference between BEP20 and BEP2?
I'm not 100% sure. I know there is a difference, but nonetheless.
Which one we need to use for the Pancake Swap?
BEP20. So everything BEP20 is going to be on the Binance Smart Chain, which is Pancake Swap here. You're going to see, you see the Pancake Farm, Bakery Swap, Burger Swap. So all these are on the Binance Smart Chain. So as you guys can see, it also has Binance built in. So a lot of these tokens you can buy off of Binance and put them right in. Give you guys an idea of just the exchange part here. You can change BNB into anything, right? So one of the pools I was doing was BNB and Front, which I don't know if you guys saw Front today. I bought it at $1 yesterday. I think it's like $1.40 right now. So a lot of these tokens that were maybe relatively unknown or unpopular before, they're being scooped up. They got good projects behind them. But again, I think a lot of it is because they're seeing the returns that you can make in these pools. So when I say liquidity pool, you may think a lot of things. I'm going to put it really simple and put it basically to explain it like this. A liquidity pool is a group of people like us, right? That provides liquidity meaning their tokens, right? Cash, dollars, but in the form of tokens. So BNB in Front. That allows people to exchange just like this. So if people didn't put liquidity into the liquidity pool for BNB in Front, I wouldn't be able to exchange on here. There'd be no water for me to swim in. You can have a pool outline, a big empty pool, but if there's no water, you can't swim in it, aka you can't exchange. So that's the main purpose of liquidity. But obviously, people won't do that for free. Nothing in life is free. If you're going to risk your money, which again, this is all a risk, it's not 100% secure. It's not 100% certain. Things happen, hacks happen, right? We're in the crypto world. You get paid, and the higher risk it is, the higher return on investment it is as well. So there's a couple different ways you can determine risk factor, but let's start with creating that liquidity pool token. So say you got this BNB in the Front pool like I'm doing. Now you don't just approve the contract, right? And you don't just send this to Pancake Swap's contract and start making money on it like that. What you have to do is you're going to literally combine 50% of BNB and 50% of Front to make an LP token that is used for the liquidity pool. So aka LP token. If you hear LP token, you know what it is. This liquidity pool token, again, makes it possible for people to exchange on these decentralized exchanges. So let's go over to the farm, right? And this is where you're going to see the different pools, liquidity pools you can get into. So you guys can see it says approved contract there, approved contract. There's about 4 or 5 steps you have to go through to get this done and actually start getting your return on investment, right? Actually getting your tokens into the liquidity pool and start to farm Cake, the Pancake Swap token, right? Which is why we're all here. We're not doing this for free. So let's start with this Cake and BNB. So you guys see Cake, BNB, LP. What did I just say that LP stood for? Liquidity pool. So you're putting Cake and BNB together to make a liquidity pool token. You're going to stake it, and it's showing you 152% APY. I mean, just off the bat, which I'm going to show you guys, it's actually more than that when you compound and whatnot. But if you go to any bank right now, even a high yield savings account, what are they giving you? Like under 1% every month? You know, it's ridiculous. It's almost laughable. You know, my bank, you know, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever, they don't even give you anything even if you had $1 million in your savings account. So 152%, you're like, man, like, what's the catch? Well, it should go down over time. It won't be this high, at least in my experience dealing with Ethereum network. And even with 1-inch, when I started with the 1-inch pool I was in, it was like 130. Today, after about a couple of weeks, is about 105. I mean, still, you know, nothing to be upset about. But usually how you determine what this APY will be is if you click there, it'll show you the liquidity in that pool. Now, that's not a small number, guys. That's $250 million worth of liquidity. So this one would probably be the safest one in terms of risk to reward. Is probably the most attractive one because you're still getting 152%. You have a bunch of liquidity, which usually when there's a lot of liquidity means you can't really get something called like rug pulled, right? So a lot of the things about the risk, the biggest risk about this is say there's just a mad dash, right, for everybody's liquidity. There's been instances before where you suffer something called impermanent loss. And again, I don't want to go too much into that because I don't want to confuse you, but just know there's risks. So before you do this, don't listen to some random dude on a Zoom meeting telling you about Pancake Swap and a bunch of little cartoon characters and you're seeing 152% APY. Do your own research. I'll actually try to find some YouTube videos of some other people who explain the technical side of it a little bit better. So just a disclosure. But say you do decide.
I'd say, I think this was mentioned before in a 1-inch meeting. Basically, someone said if it's like 100 to 200% API is okay. Anything more than 200 is probably like too risky. And if there's liquidity of at least 100 mil, then it's kind of okay.
Well, 100 mils is a lot. That's not common. So if you're only going for 100 mil, there's only one on here that has 100 mil. I think there's maybe a couple, but most of them on Pancake Swap right now are averaging about 4 to 5 mil. But again, you ask yourself, if you're going to put in $1 million, then you're probably going to want to be in this Cake BNB one because you're still just a drop in the bucket. You're trying to limit yourself to exposure, right? You're trying to not be 50% of the pool because if there's a big pullout or there's a significant downturn, some sort, right? You're going to be, your capital is going to be at risk because you're such a large part of the pool. So like with these, let's go down, right? Actually, I'm going to keep pounding this right here. So 250 mil, that's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of the people I've showed this so far have chosen to do this one. It's straight up, it's easy. Now let's go into the 152%. It's actually more than 152% depending on how long you leave it in. So you guys should probably write some notes down just so you guys can catch these numbers because I'm going to be doing this most off my head. But let's just say, for example, you're putting in $1,000 of liquidity on the Cake and BNB pool. So again, if it's $1,000 and we're dealing with liquidity pool tokens, it's 50-50. So you have $500 worth of Cake and $500 worth of BNB. So if you left it in for a day, you would literally make about, at the current rate, about 0.4%. Again, that's probably about half of what you would make an entire month with a high yield savings account at PNC Bank, something, right? I'm not trying to throw anybody on the bus, but so for a day off your 1,000, you would make 0.6 of a Cake token. So that's about, right now it's $7, about $4 or $5. Pretty good. So let's go to 7 days. And you guys are going to see, if you're adding this up in your head, as you leave it in longer, it increases. So it's not just for 1 to 7 days. You don't just times 40.42 times 7. It's compounding, as you see in the print on the bottom of these numbers. Compounding happens once a day. So let's say you go 30 days, right? Because if you're looking to do it any less than that, and unless you have quite a bit of money, I mean, you're going to do all this work for 0.6 of a cake token, or even 4 tokens. That's like, $30 right now. It's not worth it. But let's say 30 days, right? That's a good amount. So after 30 days, you're getting, let's just say 13%. That's 19 tokens at $7 would be about 130. Let's just say 130. It's like 133. But 130 bucks after a month for your $1,000, right? That's in there. And that's not considering how much your cake and BNB have gone up as well. So say cake and BNB have gone up both 30% off of your $500 investment. Let's just say 10% to make it easy for the math. 10% each for cake and BNB. That's out of a $500 investment. That's $50 each. So you made $100 just off the appreciation of the tokens. And you made about 19 cake tokens. Say the cake tokens just stay at $7, right? Well, no, they actually appreciated 10%, so that'd be 770. So times 770 times 19. Let me do the math for you real quick, just so you guys can get an idea. 19 times 770, 143 plus the $100 you made with the 10% appreciation. If you sold all your cake tokens, $245 in Tether or BNB or BTC, whatever you switch back, after 1 month off of $1,000 at the current rates, right? So you guys can kind of see after the 30 days, I mean, if the number $250, most of you guys probably aren't comfortable yet trading and getting that much back. That's a 25% return by literally just leaving your money in there and just letting it accumulate and compound, right? So give me 1 second. I have so many chats, right? Man. So let's go down. Let's go to, let me show you guys the one I'm doing right now. So I started these a day ago. I started this one a little over a day ago, and I started this one just about a day ago now. So this one about a day and a half, the bottom one, and this one about a day ago. So this one, as you guys can see, the liquidity is much less than the BNB and Cake pool. But as you guys can see, the APY is almost 3x. The reason I chose this was not just because of the APY, but also the positioning of where the tokens were of this pool. So the Juventus token is a soccer team. I'm sure the foreign people or soccer lovers know who they are. It's kind of like
Italian football team.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, for Americans who don't watch football, and we watch football, it's they're like the Packers.
It's very good. Very good one though.
Popular, right? They're good. The Patriots, right?
No, not just popular. They're actually really good. Like
cool.
Top 3.
Okay. So it's a fan token, right? So it's a utility token, meaning that they're using that to buy stuff online. Their fan gear. I'm sure that they're using it to buy tickets. So it's a utility token. There's a use to it, right? So the reason I bought this one was a mix of a couple reasons. And I'm going to encourage you guys, again, to do your own research before you get into a pool. Just because you see, oh my gosh, it's 700% APY. You want to make sure that that token that you're putting in, that initial investment, is going to appreciate. And if anything, won't depreciate. You don't want a crap token that could lose half of its value, because it doesn't matter how much you make off of Cake tokens, you're probably going to lose money in the long run. And again, why risk your money if you're going to lose it? If you're going to start with less and you're risking, don't do it. So the Juventus token on the charts, and I teach you guys a lot about charting and basic stuff. It was literally at the bottom of its cycle. It really only had one way to go, which was up from what it seemed. I got some indicators, so I said, okay, I can make money on a mid to long-term trade on this Juventus token, plus make 348%. Again, that's not compounded. So if I leave that in for the entire year, that's about a 3,000% APY for each thousand, which I have $4,000 worth in here. That's what's 4,500 times 9, 18,000 cake tokens. So let's go do the math again. 18,000 tokens. Let's say cake does not appreciate whatsoever, and say $7. It's $126,000 off of a $4,000 investment that I put in a year ago if I just left it, right? And the chances are, with a bull market, with the hype coming to cryptocurrency, my bet is it will increase. I'm not going to give you guys numbers. Do your own research, but it will increase. So base 126. Again, my plans for the Juventus token is I think it'll 3x at least, right? So the $2,000 I put in on top of the 2,000 I put in BNB, that 2,000 would be 6,000, right? And the BNB, let's say it doubles from here, right? So that is 4,000. So that's 10,000 plus the 126. So 136 I'm looking at if everything stays the same and cake does not appreciate. But again, there's so many different factors. I'm just trying to give you guys a wrap your mind around it, right? Of what's possible on this. And the reason why they have these gains, they're not going to be this high forever, right? It eventually, you would think, as more liquidity comes in, as they get a little bit more popular, I'm sure that they're going to decrease the almost promotional seeming APYs. But in about a day and a half, I made 9 cake tokens, right? So let me show you why this is also a good, for me, I'm going to be using this as almost like monthly income. So I'll be having my tokens appreciate. My goal is, and my calculations is, off this, I'll be able to pay most of just my base living expenses off of what the cake is going to be mined. That's like $4,000. Again, guys, I'm really big on portfolio structure too. I would not put your entire portfolio in here, even if you have a little bit of money, and it'll be tempting and you're like, oh, but I love the idea and it seems so great. You never know what can happen. So for me, I'm only putting like 25% of what I have into this, into the liquidity farming, right? So let's go into the math again of this. So as you guys can see, there's benefits to leaving it in longer. But if you need to pull it out after 30 days, right? Rent's due. You're like, all right, Michael showed me this, and off of my calculations, I should have $2,000 worth of cake tokens. Again, if cake literally stood still at $7, which is doubtful, up or down. So let's just say 2,000. You're going to harvest it, right? And if you guys have done any of this on the Ethereum network before, you're going to recognize this little signature page. So let's see how much the gas is going to be. Do you guys want to guess a dollar amount of what this would be? Just let's have some fun. Just throw out some numbers.
$3.
$1.50.
Okay, good. You know what's funny is oh, go ahead.
Several cents, I guess.
Several cents. Okay, getting closer.
50 maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's click on it. 53 cents. I'm laughing because let me get off of here. Let me go over to 1 inch and let me show you what it would be. The same thing, right? I'm doing the liquidity farming, right? Let's say I just want to claim the 1 inch that I've made, and I've only made about $180 worth of 1 inch, and I have almost $8,000 into this pool right here, as you guys can see. So $42 $42 was actually, it was a lot higher a little bit ago. It was about 60, 70 bucks. So $42 to pull out $180 is like 25%, 20% fee just to pull it out, right? So you guys can kind of see, not that the Ethereum network is bad or 1inch is bad. I still am, like I said, I have quite a bit in there. This is the thing though, is for us everyday individual, us folks, you know, who we don't have hundreds of millions or billions sitting around, is it really sustainable? Let me show you what it would be if I wanted to pull off my principal, not just the return that I've made, but the principal, right? So if I want to get out altogether, it's 157 bucks just to pull it off. And then you have to go through a process to basically unfuse the 1inch in the Ethereum so you destroy the LP token, right? And then it forms 2 more tokens again. That would be another, I have to go through that process. I'm not going to unstake it now, but I'm saying it will probably add up to at least 300 bucks to really get this done. Where, as we go back to over here, and I'm making more return on investment, right? And to do that is 53 cents. So even if you have only 100, 200, 300 bucks, I mean, 53 cents at most, you know, the 4 or 5 steps all together is probably about $2, $2.50 at the very most if the network is kind of congested. It's doable. That's 1%. Even if you're working with 250 bucks, is 250. So it's doable. It's not backbreaking. You know, you're not like, you know, with me with Ethereum right now, I'm like, man, you know, 8,000 bucks is not a little bit of money. But if after a week of that the liquidity farming, right, and I'm making 1inch tokens off of that, and say even 1inch goes up and it goes to 200 bucks, even if it's 50 bucks, like that's 25% of the risk, the payout to the risk I've put my $8,000 through just to pull it out. And again, you pull it out, it goes to your SafePal wallet. To go to Binance, right, to send it to Binance is another Ethereum fee. That's about another 25 bucks just to sell it. And then when you send it off, Binance is not as expensive, but nonetheless, you guys can kind of see a big chunk of your profits is eaten up if you're not working. And I'm not sure who asked before, but I've recommended like 5,000 the other week. Now it's like, man, honestly, it's really not worth it unless you're willing to leave this in for like a whole year to do anything less than, it seems like 40 or 50 grand. Because if you're putting in 40 or 50 grand, you know, after a week, that's about let's say 5 times the amount of what I have. So it'd be about 600 bucks. So if you're paying 50 bucks to pull out 600 bucks, still like 5-6%, right? No. Anyways, it's a lot less. So that's my point. So it's more doable to do the Ethereum network if you have a lot of money and if you need short-term income, right? Or just some sort of income, you want to pull it out, say you want to buy another token. So one of the benefits, and I think that's really the biggest thing I'm trying to nail home, guys, is these gas fees make it doable for the everyday person to do liquidity farming. Because at the end of the day, unless you're top 1% of traders, you know, you're not going to be day trading and making 70% scalps a day. A lot of times most people who trade short term lose money unless you know what you're doing. So that's really, when you get into crypto or stocks, that's really the only thing you think you can do is just trading every single day. So let's keep going down, right? So you got comp and ETH. So this is the only one that doesn't require a BNB native token as a cake or a BNB to stake. Comp and ETH, in my opinion, are very solid tokens. They have use cases. It seems like they will be around for a long time. You're still getting 111% on this. So imagine if you're just who isn't long-term holding ETH? If you're not, you should really, as a friend, this is not professional financial advice. As a friend, you should really reconsider your portfolio if you're not holding at least a good chunk of ETH. And comp is a great DeFi token. Again, I would strongly consider doing some research and looking into holding comp for your portfolio, right? I have a little bit. So you could leave it in here, right? 110%. I mean, after 30 days, you're making 10%. I don't know if anybody is staked on Binance. Like I had some, I think XLM or Tezos or something, or Algo. They were offering maybe 6 or 7% for the year. You're making 10% a month off of your investment here, right? So this one, as you guys can see, about 8 mil in liquidity. This one has 4 mil in liquidity. This one's the most popular, as you guys can see. Honestly, if you're just starting and you are worried about the liquidity and you know you don't want to really take a huge risk to make this reward, I would stick with Cake and BNB. And I'll show you guys how to buy Cake. You can actually buy both of them on Binance. If you don't have Binance, just send over to either the Trust wallet. You can send BNB or you can send ETH, right? You can use ETH to buy everything, basically. And then you're able to switch on some of these exchanges to get this. So let's go through, as you guys can see, the liquidity there. This one's got 12 million liquidity. That's good. This one's got 64 million in liquidity. That's good. This one's a little bit lower. I'm not sure where to get Lena token either. So that I was like, I've never heard of the token. I'm probably not going to get into that. Lit, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Lit. It just got dropped on Binance. Boom, 156%, right? I've never heard of HGET. Not going to do it. Never heard of BDO. Not going to do it. eGold, great token, right? It seems like it has a great future. Hold that with BNB. UST, not sure what that is. They even have tokenized stocks that you can put on here. So the Amazon, right? The Amazon
sorry.
stock.
UST is Luna stablecoin.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, I like UST because I have Luna and I believe in the Luna project myself personally. Again, not financial advice. So Amazon, Google, Netflix, right? Yeah, Netflix, Tesla. See, everybody loves Tesla, right? You can get these tokenized assets and mix it with the Luna, the UST, the Luna stablecoin, and you're making 235% APY on that. You know, a lot of people are just holding Tesla now because they're just seeing, hey, it seems like it's defying the laws of gravity and charting. It just goes up, right? Let's see, WSOTE. I'm not sure what that is. Now I did Front because I've recognized the project. I've done my research on the project. It's on Binance. It has decent enough liquidity, so I don't have to worry. And again, most of us are only going to be doing, you know, a couple grand on here, 5, 10 grand at the most, 20 grand. You know, if you start getting into 50, 100, 150,000, obviously you need to really evaluate your risk. You need to see what percentage of your portfolio that is. I don't recommend doing 100% of your portfolio on this. It's just not advisable. It's just not smart, in my opinion. So you got Front there, right? Helmet, not sure what Helmet is, not sure what BTST is. LTC, look, they have Litecoin even. You know, a lot of staple coins. USDC and BUSD. So if you don't even want to buy a token, right? You're just still like, yeah, I don't even believe in crypto, but I believe in stable coins because they're pegged to the dollar. You're still getting 30%, right? 35 if you hold it for the entire year. That blows anybody else out of the water, any bank. Right, and you're earning Cake, which Cake is an appreciating. Well, I don't want to say appreciating, but it's a fluctuating up and down asset. So we hope it goes up because your investment goes up or your return on investment goes up. DAI BUSD, which DAI is a stable coin, the decentralized stable coin, basically, and BUSD is the Binance dollar. Not sure what that is. Not sure what that is. Not sure what that is. OG, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. These are other fan tokens here, the ASR. So you guys can see these ones are a little bit more risky because you're getting close. My threshold is a million. If it's below a million, I'm not touching it. See, a million. They even got Reef. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the Reef project, but Reef, I was actually thinking about doing Reef too, because how I've been explaining this to people is like a real estate investment, right? So you can flip a home, or you can even buy a house, live in it, right? And expect it to go up. And that's one way of making money. Basically, with the liquidity farming, how I see it in my mind is it's buying a property, renting it out, maybe even building a little shed on the back part of the property, living there. You're kind of killing 2 or 3 birds with one stone, and you have income coming in different ways. Overall appreciation of the asset, which is the house or the tokens, and the return on investment, which is the cash flow, the rental income. And basically, you see this ROI as rental income. They're paying this the exchange, right? This decentralized exchange is paying you for providing liquidity for everybody else to get on and make these trades, right? Because when you running a decentralized exchange, what is the difference between decentralized and centralized? Centralized being Binance, Coinbase, what most people will only know. Most people don't even know the difference between them. Decentralized is basically you're taking that middleman out. So with Coinbase, you don't provide liquidity to them. They have their own liquidity, or they, I don't want to get too much into it, but they make agreements, right? Or they have market makers or whales that come in and provide liquidity for them. So that's the difference between centralized and decentralized. Decentralized is you're literally, when you're trading with somebody else that you don't know, maybe across the world. And same thing that goes for you. So there's no middleman. It's just this Pancake Swap is like it's like a protocol. It's a decentralized, brainless protocol. There's not a person behind it. It's serving a purpose, and it's connecting you with somebody across the world, right? Or right next to you, right? Just give you an idea of what decentralized and centralized is. You're going to hear DEX and CEX. So Ditto and BNB, like, I know there's a lot of like cute little tokens coming out and stuff. Like, guys, if you like Ditto, or if I haven't done the research on it, but I tend to stay away from stuff like that. Or if it's like, here, I'll show you one at the very bottom. That, man, if you get in there, you're either playing with money you don't really care about, or you're willing to take a risk. It's good returns, but again, like Bruby, like, what the heck is Bruby? I don't care if it's 20%. And you guys can see the total liquidity, that's 300,000. So again, you probably, if your share of the pool is any more than a couple percent, then you're opening yourself up to a little bit more risk of it's called impermanent loss. And again, you're going to have to look up a YouTube video of that. They'll do a much better job explaining it, and you can take notes and rewatch it, right? So let's go up. As you guys can see, there's a lot of these tiny ones. Oops, don't want to do that. See, just to give you an idea, 18 cents to approve a contract. So each of those steps is anywhere from 18 to 60 cents. There's about 4 steps. So probably under $2, maybe over $2, give or take. I'm staying away from these, right? Swipe and BNB, everybody knows Swipe, 8 mil. ING, it's been doing good on Binance lately. Phil, been doing good, 4.5 mil. Uni, if you guys don't know what Uni is, I'm gonna help you get out of the rock, under the rock that you live under. That's 125%, right? It's almost 15% liquidity. YFI, 100%. BCH, 87%. XTZ, 130. YFI 2 or YF2, 173, right? Not bad, right? About 2.8, 3.6, 5.4 million, right? Almost 4 million. XRP, 8.2, right? And if say you're gonna ask, well, I don't have BNB, so how do I do that XRP and BNB token? Well, you have $1,000 worth of XRP, you're just going to go over to this exchange page. You're going to put in XRP, right? And you're going to swap to BNB. So say you got 1,000 XRP, you're going to do 500 XRP and it's going to switch it over to BNB. Keep in mind, you're going to need more BNB always when you're doing this because of gas fees. You can't pay gas fees in XRP. So if you know you're going to do that and you have 1,000 XRP and you need to switch 500 into BNB, I would do like 550 XRP. And you're only going to have about 450 of XRP and the equivalent of that in BNB, but you're going to leave about, what was the difference? About 0.2, about 0.25, about a quarter of a BNB token. And that should take care of your fees for the next several transactions. I would always try to keep at least 0.25 of a BNB, just like in your ETH wallet. You always want to leave ETH because if you don't got ETH, it doesn't matter how much money you have on there, you can't move it. So that's how you switch. And every pair that they have on here, you'll be able to switch on here on this exchange. So it makes it easy, right? And it even makes it easy and it's cheap enough. Like say you see the Cake BNB thing dropping or a new one comes up and you want to get out, you can pull your money out, defuse the liquidity pool token, do all that for a couple bucks, go back. So say you're left with BNB and XRP, right? Now you can change your XRP into say front. Say you want to get into the front token. You do the 450 that you had and you switch it into front. So now you have front and BNB and you can get into that pool. So that's really the point of this exchange page right here, is to, if you do want to get switch between pools, you know, one's going down or you see a new one, or maybe you just don't believe in one of the tokens anymore, you're able to switch, right? Liquidity. So this is how you create these LP tokens. So say I have a little bit of front and a little bit of BNB. So I'll show you guys that process. As you guys can see, my phone never stops. So if you guys message me and it takes me a while to get back, like I have so many conversations muted, not because I hate you, it's because I love myself and I don't want to go crazy. So let's create an LP token, right? For this front BNB pool. So you're going to see I have more BNB in terms of monetary value, right? Everything's pegged to the dollar. So I have more dollar value of BNB than I do of front. And the reason you see that is I click max on BNB and it says, well, if you want to use 0.64 of BNB, then you're going to need 66 and a half front tokens. Look at my balance there. It's only 45.43. I don't have enough front. So what you need to do is max out the front, right? And you see, okay, I only need 0.43 of BNB. I have a balance of 0.65. That leaves me 0.22 BNB. That's enough to get a lot of transactions done. It'll be enough for your transactions today, tomorrow, and probably for the next week or so, just depending on how many you do. So let's see. You're going to go down and it'll show you how many LP tokens do I have in my wallet. I don't have any in I have some, right? I created some. It's not saying that you don't have them. What it's saying is they're not in your wallet currently. So where are they? They're on the smart contract. So they're on Pancake Swap's smart contract. You're providing them liquidity, right? And that's how you do, that's what the LP token is for. You don't just send your tokens there, you send them the LP tokens, and that's how they distribute. And they basically use your funds as liquidity. So let's supply that, right? And it'll show you, it'll pop up. And every pool is different because, so you say, okay, let me show you this first. So see, it's showing you how many LP tokens you're going to receive. So 4.5, just about. Output is estimated, blah, blah, blah. If there's slippage, right, of more than 0.8%, your transaction will revert. It's showing you how much of BNB you're depositing, how much upfront you're depositing, what the rates are. And then this is what's important, the share of pool. So I think you guys heard me say, if you're over a couple percent of a share of a pool, you're exposing yourself to a lot more risk of impermanent loss. Again, that word comes up. Look what that means. If anything, just look up on YouTube liquidity farming explained, and they should explain that. So say we want to confirm the supply, right? Look, 65 cents to get this done would be at least $80 on Ethereum to do that right now, right? I don't want to do that right now because I don't need to. I already have them in. So once you go and I'm going to do an in-depth video of how to actually create these LP tokens and going through that process. It is a little tricky, but nonetheless, even if I don't do it live, I'll post a video of how to do it on the YouTube channel. So let's go back to the farms, right? So there's active and inactive, right? These all ended. So I'm not sure what the time limit on these are. But again, it's so cheap to pull it out. I mean, even if they ended tomorrow, I'd still be in profit. So there's a lot of options is basically what I'm saying. Before I move on to the pools, which is a little bit different than the liquidity farming, does anybody have a question of what we've covered so far?
There was a bridge option. Do you know what that is? In the
over here, the trade, change, bridge.
Yeah, well, what is that
So
thing?
this is using the decentralized Binance DEX. So say you got Tether, right? And as you guys know, Tether exists on multiple different networks. There's Tron, which is TRX. There's BEP2, which is Binance Chain. There's BEP20, which is Binance Smart Chain. There's ERC20, which is Ethereum network. I'm not sure if they're still doing it on the Omni network. I think there's another one, but a lot of different coins, if they don't have just one, like some coins like Kava will only have one because they run on the Kava network. But USDT has multiple, is basically what I'm saying. So if you need to switch over, and this is just a cool feature of Pancake Swap, if you have, let's say, and this will happen a lot when you have these wallets and you start collecting this stuff. So most of the time you're going to be sending Tether via ERC20 address, which is your Ethereum address. If it's expensive, you can go to the Tron network. So you can send it via the Tron network for almost like, I think it's like a penny. It's like 1 or 2 pennies to send it, compared to maybe $25 like I was trying to send my $100 worth of stable coin on the ERC network. So a lot of people do that. This gives you a way of converting from the ERC network over to, let's say, the BEP20 network. BEP20 network would be a lot cheaper to transfer or to do anything with.
You can convert ERC20 USDT to BNP on BEP20?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes, but no, you're not converting USDT to BNB, because if you're converting to USDT and BNB are different tokens, right? So if you're going to do that, you're exchanging them. The bridge is you're taking the same currency, but you're converting it from, basically you're jumping from one network over to the other network, but it's still the same token. Does that make sense?
So you exchange them without converting them? What?
Yes, that's why they call it bridge. So you're instead of exchanging, you're keeping Tether. You don't want to get rid of Tether, but say the exchange rates are crazy high on Ethereum, like they usually are. If you want to send it via the BEP20 network, which is a lot cheaper, you can do that here, right? So you can change your Tether that exists on Mars. Let's say Mars is the Ethereum network, and say there's humans that live on Mars and there's humans that live on Earth. They're still humans, right? You're not changing from a human to a Martian. You're literally just taking a human off of Mars and putting them back on Earth, but it's still a human. That makes sense? A little bit more sense? I know it's still a crazy example, but so this is a way for you to change over. Like for me, I forgot that this even existed. I'm actually going to use this for my True USD, which I can show you guys here. Maybe. Oh man, they won't let me do it.
I must say is a form that we can change between blockchains.
Yes, exactly. Blockchains, networks, one and the same. But it's just another cool feature of Pancake Swap that I haven't seen. I don't even think 1inch has this. Again, you guys don't really need to be worrying that. If you're still not sure of how to create a liquidity pool token, don't try to learn the whole bridging option. Still, let's get the basics down. Like I said, there's gonna be at least 3 videos of the features on here. So yeah,
maybe you can swap USDT for BNP and SafePal, and then just use it here then.
yes, but that would be the exchange. That wouldn't be the bridge. That makes sense. Yeah. So I don't have any currency to bridge right now. I'll make sure I have something so I can actually do it for you guys, but I just don't have anything that I need to jump from network to network. So okay. So far, any questions about the liquidity pools, or do you guys get that? Like, you still need me to like pinch you? Are you dreaming that's even possible? Like, what's the catch? Like, nothing? Are you guys just that good of students and then you're learning that quick, or?
Maybe you're a good teacher.
I appreciate it. I don't think it's that. So let's jump to the pools. So again, it's kind of corny, and I'll be honest with you guys. I was actually told about Pancake Swap quite a bit ago by a friend of mine, and he mentioned it, and I just heard Pancake Swap, and I'm like, really? Really? You think I'm going to put my money on something that's, has a little bunny looking thing that's a pancake? And they're talking about syrup pools and cake tokens. Like you got to be kidding me. I care about my money. I don't want to lose my money. Right. And that's what a lot of people are going to do. The people who actually do their research are going to see, okay, behind all the goofy characters and the cartoon characters, there's something really, really spectacular here. There's an opportunity that I don't feel a lot of people are really paying attention to, because everybody's distracted by the Ethereum network, and they're getting trapped by the Ethereum network fees. And most people will just, try one thing, they run into an issue and they say, oh man, I guess I can't do DeFi. I guess I can't do liquidity farming. I did not take no for an answer. I've been in the space a little bit longer than some people who are new, so that's understood as well. I'm a little bit more comfortable, but I was like, there's got to be a way that I can do this. So I listened to my friend and I said, you know what, I'll check it out. BNB is blowing up, Cake is blowing up. If there's enough people who really don't care about their money, or maybe I'm wrong and I judge the book by its cover, right? So once I started diving into this, I realized that was it. I was wrong. I was really wrong. And the reason being, so the farms here, right? This is one way of making money. And even this way, that you're making money a couple different ways, right? Now the pool is another way to make money off the Cake tokens that you actually have been printing or mining, right? Or minting, right? Your rewards are the Cake tokens. Now you can take your Cake tokens and you can put them in to this pool. So say every week, and again, this is depending on your strategy. My strategy right now is every 30 days, what I'm going to do is pull out, I'm going to take profits. So I'll probably take about 50, 75%, convert it to cash, put it into Bitcoin, something, right? You want to realize profits, because I could make $2,000 worth of Cake tokens, but then if I just start going and putting them in 3,000 APY percent yield pools and they're super high risk and I lose them, I didn't make any profit, right? Because it's not realized. There's a difference between unrealized profits, which everything I'm showing you on here so far, the $100 worth of Cake tokens I made in the last day, that's unrealized profits until in my mind, I put it into something like dollars, or even better, put it into something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, something that we're pretty confident will be around for the long term, something that's going to be a store of value, right? But say I want to gamble, right? Because we're all gamblers at heart. You wouldn't be really doing crypto if you weren't. I mean, if you're not, okay, you know, you can stop lying to yourself. We're all friends here. Let's say you want to take 50% of everything I made. So in the last day, I'm going to take 50% of the tokens, put it into this cake pool, right? Again, I just know that there's a couple steps to do this. There's only 2 steps to do it actually here, because instead of creating an LP token, which is 2 more steps, all you're doing is you're approving the smart contract, because again, the Ethereum network is all based on smart contracts, right? And that's what makes this lending, that's what makes DeFi, that's what makes the liquidity farming possible, is the smart contracts. So you got to pay the fee basically to it's your wallet address is interacting with the Pancake Swap smart contract on the blockchain, and it's saying, hey, I'm going to be sending money to you. It's almost like a verification, right? It's like you're getting a driver's license to drive on the road of Pancake Swap on the network of BSC. Like you guys saw in that video, they're explaining it as a network of roads, right? And there's a bunch of different projects. There's a bunch of different cars that are driving on this road, on these the collection of roads. So you're going to pay that first fee, and then after it says approved, then it's going to say, it'll probably say stake. Yeah, it'll probably say stake, and then basically why it's saying I have no cake is because I need to claim it, right? I need to claim it from what I've made. So I could harvest this cake. And then once I harvest the cake, it would show up in my wallet. I'd be able to go to the pools, and then I'd be able to put it into here. And again, you're making 142% APR on this pool, right? And these pools work a little bit different. As you guys can see, it says you put in this token, right? You look at the bottom. It says total has been paid out and how much is gone. How much is left until that pool ends. So after almost 1.7 million more cake is distributed, that pool will end. So say we're putting in there's a cake pool, right? Which I'm thinking you're putting you're putting comp into this one. So you can put your comp into this one and earn cake and make 200% on your compound. As you guys can see, there's still that one seemed like it was pretty popular. Well, no, actually, sorry, that was a decimal, not a comma. So right now, so far, 4,000 cake has been rewarded as has been rewarded to the people who have staked their comp into this pool. This pool ends after 155,000 cake is distributed. There's a SafePal pool, so you can put your SafePal and earn SafePal. So, you know, for the people who got the free airdrop, which I already sold mine to get into some other stuff, but the people who kept it, originally I told myself I was going to keep the SafePal forever, whatever, right? So you could put your SafePal in here and earn more SafePal, right? And it's 139%. So the people who are holding these tokens long term, you ask yourself, like, why wouldn't I do this? You know, that's what I told myself. Everybody's going to have a different conversation with themselves. Again, you have to look at your portfolio. What's your risk tolerance? You know, how much money do you have to play with? It really just comes down to what's your individual risk tolerance. All of us are different levels of risk takers. Some of us are, you know, balls to the wall. You know, just, you know, I'm gonna put 100%. I know Michael told me not to do it, but I'm still gonna do it. Right? Cool. Some people are gonna say, I think 25% is too much. I think Michael's really risking it. I'm gonna put like 5% of my portfolio in there. Cool, either way. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different ones in here. And once I saw this, you know, and there's a lot of good tokens here, you know, like this front one, I'm going to buy more front. And while I'm waiting, since for me, it's a midterm to a long-term hold, I might as well have it in here and create more front while I'm waiting for front to appreciate. I'm creating more front for myself, right? And again, you can apply now to, if you guys are web developers, which is cool, you know, it's a decentralized exchange. Like they told you, disclaimer, you know, you need to make sure the tokens you're getting into, you do your research on and you verify them, because we can't. It's decentralized. There's no support desk. You know, there's no coin retrieval program. So if you send it to the wrong address or the wrong contract or the wrong network, it's gone. So when you guys are doing all this, make sure, like, I cannot answer all your questions without actually doing this stuff for you. And I don't have enough time, nor do I want to do this for you. So YouTube is your best friend. I cannot say that enough. YouTube is your best friend. If you're not 100% sure of what to do or how to do something in crypto, do not do it. Do not do it. Make sure you understand what you're doing before you do it. Because again, if you make a mistake, most of the time you're not going to get your money back, right? And that's why you send test transactions as well. You know, if you got $5,000 to send somebody, don't send $5,000 right away, especially if you're new. Send $5 first. Just make sure that you get what's going on. Make sure you send in the right address, whatever, right? Just send a test. So again, I already showed you guys the, okay, so you guys know, buy a token and wait for it to go up, right? We're all moon boys, moon girls. So that's one way. Second way, which actually comes with a couple different ways of making money, is put in the liquidity farms, right? These liquidity pools. Now, every time you harvest, say you want to do it every week, say you do it every day, you know, you're not going to make as much if you do it every day, but say you do it every day, say you do it every week, pull them out. You can either sell all of them, or like I said, my strategy is going to be selling about half to 75% and realizing profit, either putting that in dollars, so cash back into my bank account, right, for real world stuff. Because at the end of the day, you know, we still got to buy food, and you can't buy food with cake. You can buy food with dollars. You can even buy it with like Bitcoin and some other ones, but you can't buy food with cake so far. So you're able to take that and you can roll that in to these syrup pools, right? And it's all about compounding, right? So the little guy, we're at a disadvantage. I hate to tell you, but we're at a disadvantage. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible to grow your account using these methods. You don't have to just trade. There's more to the crypto world than just trading. All this is pretty simple. You're going to have to go through it a couple times to actually do this. And what we could do is, as a group, if all of us, say for those of you who have funds free and you're like, Michael, this is awesome, I want to do this. What we can do is, if we all coordinate this, I will walk everybody through it at the same time. We will all hold hands, a big chain of 20 or 30 of us, and we can set up a day where we can do this all together. I know we're all different time zones, so I don't mind having to do 2 different sessions, but please work with me. Again, I'm only human, and I have real world job and real world responsibilities. I'm not just a crypto trader, right? So I'm willing to do that. The first couple times it's going to be a little tricky, but once you do it, you're going to be able to do it in your sleep. I staked some more liquidity tokens literally when I was half asleep. I wouldn't advise that, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm understanding it. So I think this is basically it. Wow, he's really welcome, huh? Let me go back to SafePal, show you guys. There's Burger Swap, right? I haven't used this one before. I don't know too much about it. This one's pretty much straight up just a swap. You can add liquidity too. The only thing about this one, I haven't seen, they don't show you, it's not as user friendly. The UI isn't as friendly and inviting as Pancake Swap, and meaning it doesn't show you exactly what you're making, or at least an estimate of what you're making. So I've yet to, and there's only one page, you know, there's nothing to switch, but you know, this is more so just straight up. There's a pool here. You can add liquidity. I just don't know how much ROI you're making. So do your research before you get into it, right? Here's the governance. Again, I usually off of governance, you are making ROI, but I just don't know what the benefits to that is. So there's that. Here's the bakery swap, right? It's a little bit different. They have ETH 2.0 on here, right? So again, I don't know what BETH is the bakery token wrapped, the Ethereum, right? Or Ethereum wrapped bakery token. Let's see. And there's 3 of them here, and ROI 53%, 74%, 74%. So not bad. I mean, it's funny. That's great. That's excellent. Don't get me wrong. It's just when we're looking at 200-300%, and then you can roll that into another 150% while it's still going. I just think Pancake Swap is the best option so far for me. With that, oh, and if you guys do have SafePal, which I use this quite a bit, you can use MetaMask and still connect to Pancake Swap. Just know that Pancake Swap is a D app, so it's a decentralized app. There's no app in the App Store. You know, we're so used to, you know, having everything pretty easy and laid out. The reason why I use SafePal is because it's like one home. It's a hub for all of these things mixed together, right? So I got my Binance, Pancake Swap, and my actual wallet, right? I have my wallets here. The cool thing about SafePal is it's an Ethereum wallet, Binance Smart Chain wallet. You can do the TRX on here. You can do, well, just like MetaMask as well. Let's see. It has everything built in as well, right? So with that, I will end the recording here. Let's see if anybody has any questions.